are done with dating, men are staying single, and a lot of men have given up on dating.
No one is putting forth effort, including me. Men, women, everyone. We're tired. I officially have completed 1 week of not having any interest in dating. Deleted all of the type of communications that I would have had with any men. Like if I was talking to them, they've been blocked. When I do check my phone now, it's just stuff for work. And I've actually done pretty good with work lately because I'm focused more on work than on the monotony that is dating these days.
I can fully understand this. Like, honestly, I can. It's not even so much that you feel like you're just done with dating and don't want to date. It's just that you feel like your standards have gotten to a point where there's just not somebody out there for you, where you're just looking for something that almost seemingly doesn't exist. And I'm not just talking about physical features. I'm talking about the whole kit and caboodle, like the entire thing, the mentality, personality, motivation, the drive. Like, it seems like nobody has anything to offer anymore. And that very well could include me. Like, it very well could just be me as well. Like, it's amazing. Like, even when I do meet somebody and I go out with them and I could have a great time and, you know, whatever it may be, the next day or the day after, it's like I almost have to talk myself into going out with them again. And it's not because they did anything wrong. Mm-hmm. It's just that I've been on my own for almost 4 years now, going on 4 years. And it's not that it's been all bad. Like, it was bad in the beginning. But the problem is it's gotten good. It's gotten so good that I don't want to interrupt it. Honestly, I don't even really know how to explain it.
So I see where a lot of people are coming from when they say this. Man, I'm doing great on my own. Why would I want to mess that up? I got a good thing going. And that's how they psych themselves out of relationships. And this is just my opinion. But I think you run the risk a lot of times of looking at the opposite side and saying, this person can really balance me out in a way that I can use them and they can help me to see my blind spots. And sure, you can have a mentor and do fantastically well. You can have friends and family to step in and do all of those things. All of that works. You don't need to be in a relationship, but having that constant feedback every day and that constant companionship every day, that's a good thing.
Like, it's just peaceful. That's it.
This is going to be an extremely hot take, but the whole concept of dating is literally ludicrous. Mm-hmm. Once you become healed and whole, you realize that dating makes absolutely no sense. And the idea and the concept of being boyfriend and girlfriend is childish.
Don't do this.
That's something that should have ended in high school. Let me explain. When you become a healed adult, you realize that spending all this time with the person, creating all these memories, sleeping and giving your body to a person that is a very good chance that you will not end up with is ludicrous. Men thinking that because they bought a couple drinks or paid for a dinner that they're entitled to your body is absolutely ludicrous. Once you become healed and whole and realize your true value, honey, you won't want to be around anyone. You won't want nobody to touch you. Whatever surgeries you thought you had will be done because you'll realize the value that your body, your womb truly holds. And it's much more than a 2 for $20 appetizer at Applebee's.
Okay, if it's worth much more than that, nobody's saying that it's not, but 2 for $20, you would be having a conversation over 2 for $20 about the value of that person that you're thinking about being in a relationship with. You're still focusing, in my opinion, on the wrong thing. And that's, well, you only going to take me out for 2 for $20 just to get in my pants. If you feel like that person is that way, then why would you be on the date with them in the first place? Why are you not having conversations over the phone to see where their head is at. A lot of people like to say that they're truly healed and they're whole. And once you're healed and you're whole, you wouldn't have done this. And you still coming up with statements like that.
My new perspective on dating is this. People, we shouldn't date no more. Dating is done. What we need to be doing is being friends. Because being friends with someone will show you two things. Number one, it'll show you their character, if they're even a good enough person to be in a relationship with.
And you can go for two for 20 at Applebee's. Would that be okay then?
Do they have the characteristics to be a good mate? But also, secondly, if you can't be a good friend, you definitely can't be a good partner. So,
I agree.
moving forward in 2025, I am suggesting that we no longer date. We no longer do the boyfriend-girlfriend thing, because I should have stopped in 5th grade. And we become friends with people, and we stay friends with them for at least a year, and don't do anything romantic or in any way to see if you actually are even interested in that person for the person, or are you just interested in them for just physicality or searches or things like that. That's my take on it. I'll see you on the next.
I see what you're saying, but if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody, there's a way that you can be too casual, if that makes any sense. Oh, we're just friends and we're just hanging out and we're chilling. I think, yes, you need to be friends, but there's also a dance that you do romantically. Like, hey, I want to be more than your friend. This is where the flowers come in. Hey, I want to be your closest friend. This is where the dates come in. Hey, I want to show you something. This is what's cool to me. And he takes you to a restaurant that he's been going to for years. And maybe it's not a spot that's one of these fancy steakhouses, but it's important to him. There's too many modern women out there that look at what a man is interested in and they're repulsed by it. And it's nothing to be repulsed by. It's not what I was expecting. I was expecting something high level, something with a high cost, and this doesn't foot the bill. And that's bare minimum if you really, really love me and really are interested in me, that type of stuff. So I would say you need to be looking for a friend. Absolutely, yes. But there's also a dance that you need to do romantically that says, I want to be more than your friend. And it's not going to take all year to do that.
Sweetie, yeah.
Have you ever approached a girl at a bar and tried to get her number and then she rejects you? What should you do next? Here are the top 3 responses for when a girl rejects you in public. Number 1, you can say, God, you don't have to be so rude about it. This is a subtle way to make the entire situation about your feelings and not hers. And it lets everyone around you know that you're the real victim. Number 2, you could respond with, I already have a girlfriend anyway. Telling her that you already have a girlfriend is a great way to protect yourself from the embarrassment of being turned down. Suddenly, it's not you who's vulnerable. It's her who should feel as though she misread the situation. Number 3, you could respond with, I was just joking. I wasn't interested in you anyway. Sorry. This is a classic power move that instantly shifts the dynamic back in your favor.
Yes,
the
sir.
Sorry at the end is the cherry on top because it makes it seem like you're the one who's being gracious. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any other great responses to a girl when she rejects you in public. And as always,
Fantastic.
follow me for more dating tips.
Where are all the good men? Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, ladies, but they're done.
Dang.
They've walked away from today's modern women. They're done with dating, done with marriage, done with relationships. And no, ladies, it's not because they're scared, like you all are telling each other is the case. No, the real reason they're leaving is because they don't see a point in relationships anymore. Because there is no point in relationships for today's men. They're expected to give while getting nothing in return. They're told that they need to honor, respect, and provide for women while never seeing it reciprocated to them in any way. They've been told time and again that they aren't needed, aren't wanted, aren't necessary, and that they should just go away and leave women alone. And ladies, we've heard you loud and clear. We've said, fine, if that's what you want, we're going to give it to you. And that, ladies, is where these good men are, off doing their own thing and enjoying life, because they are done dealing with the drama, narcissism, and insane expectations most of you have. Men
Insane.
are done with never being acknowledged, let alone appreciated for all that they do. So if you're wondering why all the men have walked away, there's your reasons.
Okay, this is why I'm done dating in New York. I went out with a younger guy, and by younger, I mean 6 months younger, okay, last night. And literally, when I tell you that this man, keep in mind, I turned 27 like a week ago. At some point during the date, this guy goes, I mean, I'm sure you remember when you were 26. What? Like, I'm done dating. I'm done.
We are so absorbed with a list for what we want in a man or woman. Like, the thing is, you pray for a man that checks all the boxes for you.
Mm-hmm.
You get the man of your dreams. You have the career of your dreams. But then something else is not make you happy. Because you thought this man that you dreamed about, prayed about, imagine yourself with, you got him. But then you end up still being unhappy.
Putting them in the wrong
You
spot.
still feel like you want something more. The thing is, we as human beings think of what is next. What is next? You find something about this perfect man and say, no, I can't deal with it.
Yep.
And honestly, there are huge deal breakers, and I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the small, the mute things that you can easily look past. The way the guy chewed his food bothers you.
Mm-hmm.
The way he does things bothers you. He has everything on your list, but then there's something about him that is super flawed. The thing is, with these lists, it's super unrealistic.
Yep.
Just like people's expectations on life. We always want the bigger, better things in life. In reality, that person is just enough for you.
That's right.
You cannot get hung up on the small things in life that is not make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
There are times that you have to be content with your life.
Yep.
Sometimes life is not going to go your way. And especially the men that you date. The thing is, we always find something about him or her that you don't like. And it's something that you can easily overlook. You can look past. And again, big flags, big red flags, get it. Small things, y'all just have to get over it and find a way to work around the man's flaws.
Sometimes it's not even a flaw. It's just the way they do things. You have to learn to accept that. If you're going to be in a relationship with somebody else, you got to accept that they do things a different way than you. They've lived a different life than you. You're bringing your experiences together. And with that comes differences. Maybe those differences create tension, and they probably will. But I think a lot of modern women don't expect to problem solve when they get in a relationship. The man is going to be so competent. He's going to be so bold, so alpha, so brave that he can handle anything. He's Superman. But it doesn't really work like that because he still needs your input. He still needs your feedback. You can't just turn your brain off and think, oh, well, he's got it. He's going to handle it. That's the type of man I've married. I put all my trust in him. Yes, a competent man is going to be able to handle a lot of things, most things. But modern women expect men to handle everything, every single thing. The bills, the house, the cars, buy me clothes, flowers, dates. I just want to sit here and rest in my feminine. Literally do nothing, think about nothing. Just bring me a box of chocolates. Don't even hand me the remote. You turn on the TV. You know the volume that I like. You know what type of food that I like. I want it here waiting for me in my castle with my robe and my little fuzzy socks and my drink. I want all of this ready to go. It doesn't work like that. And on top of that, they expect not to do the same in reverse for a man. That's crazy.
Okay?
Okay. Is it that men just don't want to commit anymore? I was reading an article on that the other day. It said it's like the new norm. Like it's okay for men not to want to commit anymore like they used to. Or is it that they have too many options now with all these dating sites and, you know, women willing to be in open relationships? But what I know for me is that I really don't know if I'll ever meet someone of substance that truly wants, you know, what I want. And it's sad. You know, I never thought I'd be going through this.
This is a question for the men. I just want to know, like, how can some men literally, like, just straight up lie, like, just straight up completely lie and make you think that you're the only person and you're the only one, and that they're crazy about you and that you're literally perfect, only to get played, only to find out that they're just with everybody else. You're not the only one.
Maybe the same way that women do the exact same thing. They say that they love you for who you are, but then they take all your money. Not saying that it's right, but there are terrible people that do stupid, terrible things on in both genders.
Literally, one of my guy friends told me that when they look at photos of girls, they look at the size of their fingers because so often their photos are touched up, but they don't think about touching up their fingers. So they look at the fingers to see if they're overweight.
And why has it come to this? Why has it come to this? Y'all say men don't be looking, they don't be reading, they don't be listening, but it's come to this to where modern women have tried to deceive a man so much that a man has to say, okay, where are the other obvious spots where she probably wouldn't pay attention? Because we know from the top of the head to all the way to the neck down, they're not going to show. Even in some places, they're going to Photoshop a lot of this stuff or filter a lot of these things. What else can I look at that they're not going to pay attention? And that's why I be asking for full body photos.
Get out! I order you!
No, George.
Charlotte!
You cannot force me away. I will not go.
I command it, go!
I will stay! I command it!
Please, Charlotte, please go.
No.
Charlotte, you are not listening to me.
I had someone tell me this one time, and they were like, oh, he's gonna leave his wife for me. And I just looked at her and how to check the pupils, how to check the eyes. How high are you? A man is not gonna leave his wife for a girlfriend. A man will have a wife and a girlfriend, but he's not gonna leave someone that's not gonna leave him. Men can't be alone like that.
He's gonna fill your little pretty head up with some pretty little lies just to get what he wants, because he wants his cake and eat it too. He's not gonna sacrifice someone that's so down for him that he has access to, and that they have way more history than this new girl. You're just a new exciting thing. You're nothing really. That's not a flex. I'm husband. Get a life. That's so weird.
I keep seeing these clips of women trying to shame men that are in their 30s, maybe about to hit 40s, because these men are still saying they don't want to settle down. Have some of you women not realized that maybe you just don't make him want to settle down? Have you ever thought that maybe he has something going on? He has a built-in ecosystem that makes him happy, and what you're trying to bring into it doesn't really mix well with the ecosystem that what he's created? You know, the same way women talk about, well, I don't need a man, I don't need you to come into my space and destroy the peace I've created. Have some of you thought that maybe these men think you're going to destroy
your peace
they've created? Some of you can only think about yourself, and you're super selfish because you just think you can't be the issue and or you're not the problem. The same way women create an ecosystem of peace, men older in age have created an ecosystem of peace as well. But some of you have never been told you're not that girl, and you don't make him want to be in a relationship and or settle down.
Whose
Because everyone was giving you attention in high school. I wasn't the best looking. And now you 40, 50, 60 pounds heavier with 3, 4 kids, 6 baby daddies.
Okay.
And you think you want to come into my life? I'm living good. I'm fucking spending money on what I want to spend on. You got no money because you have to fucking spend money on 5 kids? Yeah, all right. What you got to say about that?
If you're broke, then why do you deserve anything? I don't understand. What good are you? We don't know what a good man is until they start securing us. That's a good man to us. A good man is not someone who texts us good morning. We don't care about good morning. We can get Siri to text us good morning if we need to. We can change Siri's voice to a man's voice. We don't need that. What we need is you to pay the phone bill, for you to take us out to dinner.
The fact that you make that statement, we can get Siri to say good morning to us, it just speaks to the issue. One of the main issues with modern women today is that they think that basically all the things of a man they can outsource to a computer or something. Well, I don't need that from I don't need that from you. I can get that from this item if I need something intimate, or I can get a plumber to walk out here, or I can get this from this computer or DoorDash, or I can rely on somebody that I can pay and they're not going to be in my life. None of that really solves a problem. It really doesn't, because you come and you go. You're not there all the time. And what you're really looking for in a relationship is somebody that's there consistently all the time. And you don't have to worry about arguing with men about whether you need them or not, because most people need social interaction. Most people need companionship. That's how they live their lives. They want somebody to talk to. They want somebody to experience things with. So you don't have to worry about all of this nonsense that modern women are talking about, because they'll still be on the apps talking trash while they're on the, oh man, girl, I'm scrolling on Hinge right now. I'm scrolling on Bumble right now. Exactly. Because all of that foolishness that you were talking about yesterday, the innate need, the desire that's within you, that you were born with, is still going to kick and say, I need somebody here with me to experience this. So all that stuff that you be talking about, Siri going to tell me good morning, that ain't going to work.
To impress us, to secure us, to make us feel like we're safe with you, that we don't have to worry about anything while we're with you. If you're broke, why do you guys think y'all deserve anything? Even a conversation on the phone.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
So if you're broke, you shouldn't be dating. Work on yourself and get your finances in order.
Exactly.
Once you do, don't settle for anything that don't meet your standards. Because if you were broke, they won't settle for you unless you care about you and believe in your potential. Most of the women that's asking for a ready-made man are just looking for someone to fund their lifestyle. So choose wisely.
If you can't pay for a meal, if you don't have anything that I need, or if you don't have anything that women need, if you can't pay for their meal, can't provide any type of financial support if I am in need, keyword is if I am in need or when I need it from you, then why do you deserve anything from me? In order to fall in love properly, I have to feel safe.
Well, you don't always need finances. What you need is somebody to solve problems. You might already have the finances to do that. You might already have the connections to do that. But a lot of women look at things on a smaller level in detail, and sometimes they can't see the bigger picture. That's where men come in. That's where you can use their skill. Hey, baby, how do I solve this? I'm looking at this, man. I guess I just can't see it. I just don't understand the perspective. And the man can give you his thoughts on it, his rationale, his reasoning, and you jump back and say, man, why did I think of that? Wow, okay. But you didn't need money. You just needed guidance and direction. And guidance and direction, a lot of times, is going to be free unless you're consulting with somebody, which maybe men should start a consulting business on guiding and directing and leading women. Steve Harvey, I guess, has done something like that, but maybe more men need to start coming in here with these modern women and say, you know what? You're broke. A man is not going to want you. But if he does want you, here's how you can catch his attention. And say some nonsense, some mumbo jumbo. If y'all gonna say this and make money on it, why can't men?
Comfortable and somewhat trusting.
That's fine and all, but what does the man get in return? Understanding one wants to be in a relationship and still struggle, but you can't expect a man to be a provider and you don't know how to take care of a home. And if you have to hire a chef or a maid, What's the use of you being there? I'm traditional, and I don't believe in 50-50, but I expect my wife to be traditional as well.
Question for the men. On a first date, is it too aggressive for a woman to touch the man? And
No.
for all you pervs out there, I'm not talking down south, so get your mind out of the gutter. I am talking, is it too forward to go and put your arm on the man? Put your hand on the man's forearm. Put your hand on his leg. If he says something funny, lean over, putting your arm on his upper bicep. Things of that nature. Is that a plus for you? Or is that a little, hey, you're kind of too much in my bubble because this is too much too soon and you're in my personal space? I personally, physical touch in that manner, in affection in that manner, is super flattering and is a big plus to me. But for
As it is
guys,
to most women.
do you like this? Is this something that is too forward, or would you say women should do this more? I have my 2 cents, but I want to hear the thoughts of a man that is also dating, what they would prefer. Let me know.
I think people struggle in relationships because they don't know where the line is, especially in today's society, where you can touch a woman, like you can literally shake hands and then they'd be like, oh man, you did something, you mishandled me. But I think that's okay. Maybe on the first date, maybe not touching somebody on the leg because that's a little intimate. But maybe, touching them on the forearm or being a little close to them, being a little personal. But I would really like you to focus on, instead of touching them, asking questions and creating a conversation that makes both of you feel like it's okay to be in each other's personal space. Too often in dating, people, they try to get to the touch. And I'm not talking about just a simple, hey, how you doing? Hug them. Or, hey, what's going on? And, oh man, you tripping. It's like little stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. But I just think the most important thing is to create a conversation first about what we're really here for, what we're expecting. And it doesn't have to be an interview. It's just, so what do you want out of life? What are the things that you like to do? And you listen intently. Oh man, I like to go to the Lions game, or man, I like to watch the Rockets. Oh, you like to watch the Rockets play? Oh man, I've been wanting to go to a Houston Rockets game. Man, that should be our next date. Let me tell you something. I'll get the tickets. You get what? Like, oh yeah, I got a jersey. And that's how you plan that type of stuff. That's how you get each other excited, because you're doing things. You're looking for things intently, especially if you find the person attractive. Okay, we both find each other attractive. That's a commonality. What's next? Can we work on each other's personality? What do we find attractive about that? You're finding commonalities. Obviously, you want to look for the bad things, the red flags. You don't want to go past those. But a lot of times in relationships and even in marriage, there are going to be some bad things that you come up on. And if they're not too bad, you want to evaluate all of that stuff. But that's part of having a conversation, is asking those questions to find those commonalities. And then, now I got to ask you, what do you think about this? And sit back and listen to what they have to say. No. I do think this, and it does surprise me a little bit that you think this way. But what would you think about somebody that felt this way, or thought this way, or maybe even voted a certain way? Well, what do you think? So, what do you think about somebody that voted for Harris, Kamala Harris? What do you think about somebody that voted for Donald Trump? What are your politics? And you're not shaming each other. You're just sitting back and watching, because somebody might have voted for Trump or Harris, and they might be a Democrat voting for a Republican, or vice versa. You never know. Or they might be independent and they say, man, I really like to go with policy. And, if it's a Democrat that has the best policy, I'll go with that. If it's a Republican that has the best policy, I'll go with that. So it's not necessarily that you might agree with that decision, but you agree with that thought process. You agree with that logic, and you can find commonality on, yeah, man, if I really thought about it, that's something that I would do. And it makes dating more healthier because you don't judge them based on the end result of their decision. And you get back to looking at their process of how they think. And you could come in, you're not trying to fix anybody, but sometimes your partner is going to do things that you vehemently disagree with. And in those times, you got to think, why did I marry this person again? Oh, it's because of their overall thought process. And if there's a problem, you say, well baby, I didn't really like that the end result was that I felt like X, Y, and Z. And I thought that X, Y, and Z should have happened. And I think maybe if this were to be the case, then maybe we'll get to this next time and see where you go from there. But that's before you get in a relationship, you're going to have those conversations. And even when you're official, you would have those conversations even before you get married. So I think even before touching, like I said, a hug is nice. It's fantastic. It a lot of times lets the man know that your walls, your guard is a little bit down. You're a little bit more relaxed, because a lot of men are nervous too. They don't know what to do, what moves they can and cannot make. So you kind of, hey, how's it going? Giving a little hug. It might be a side hug, or I don't think it has to be a full body hug, but just a little something like, hey, establishing like a friendship. I think that'll be okay. You don't have to linger and hold each other. You don't have to do that. Or like maybe not touching their thigh or anything just yet, but maybe a little touch on the arm, or like little stuff kind of above the belt and above the back is okay. Like the lower back is all right, I think.
A man was working at McDonald's and he treated you perfectly the way you wanted him to.
I would not date him.
And that's what she said too. I literally said,
you can't even get, where are you to,
can I ask?
What is he supposed to give me?
Loves you.
What is he supposed to give me if he works at McDonald's?
He gives you the attention.
Go get a better education. And
Quite brazen. Yeah, well, looks like it. You're quite brazenly.
Looks doesn't define
when I'm
education,
speaking, it's best that your
though.
face stops moving. So when you're judging a man quite brazenly and quite actually disrespectfully because of the income that he earns, perhaps he doesn't have an intellectual aptitude, but he's a good person and he'd treat you really well. As somebody who is what is your standard that makes you so much better than him?
I have like much more than just as a job, though.
What is your standard that makes you so much better than him?
So McDonald's is worse than being a...
Yeah, but I'm not...
You have set people for money.
Yeah.
What makes you better than that man?
I'm not saying I'm better than him,
Okay,
but I'm
well, you just
saying
judged him
I
and you
wouldn't
said-
date somebody. I would wonder why he's working at McDonald's.
You're trashing it.
Do you think that men?
No, they don't.
Do you think that most?
No, they don't. They pay like what?
Like almost set 15.
Well, I think
That's not a lot of money.
So the way you feel about the guy who works at McDonald's,
Yeah.
that's the way men feel.
That's fine. Everybody
about
can have
what
their own
you
opinion.
do.
Totally
But
fine.
their
Okay.
opinion would be
But
more
most-
logical than McDonald's.
Sure.
She was so on getting a man that makes over 100K. I think she would actually leave.
That's how it has to be. You actually need to get up and leave. I would suggest at that point in time, you get up and leave, because you've made yourself sound pretty silly. I mean, you're sitting here arguing about a man working at McDonald's, and the stuff that you do, I think most people in society on both sides would consider a lot worse. A man is flipping burgers. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. I was gonna say, a man is flipping burgers. Why you flipping that behind? Why you flipping the mattress trying to, anyway, the point is, it should not be shaming men when you do things like this. That's weird. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Until the next video, I'm out.